Broadcasting live from the businesses of the years anyway, ravaged bayous of Louisiana. It is me, Maximilian, running late because, hey, nothing else has worked out in the last 2 weeks. Let's just keep that trend going. So, anybody here? I got your red Kool-Aid. Let's get yeah. Oh yeah. Tonight, I promise you, if you're looking for happiness, kindness, and sweet talk and Church of Mac shit, you the wrong place. But if you're looking for advice on what kind of nightgown and pink panties to wear, I got nothing. I don't know what to tell anybody to expect tonight because I am I'm all over the place last couple weeks. First Taco Bell tried to assassinate me uh by just a week of shitting myself to death. Thank you very much for that. And um the minute I get over that, I realize that a medication, if I don't know if anybody out there has any nerve damage or anything like that, I'm sure that gabapentin is something that you're very familiar with. And as somebody who just, with C5 palsy due to my spinal problems, the OPLL, and everything like that, I I'm on a pretty heavy dose of it. Well, the same doctors are also telling me that Max, you have got to get your weight down or you're done. So I'm like, absolutely. So I watch what I eat. I don't want to say I exercise, but I do what I can, and for somebody who is the next step below light duty, and so I have to get off this medication, this gabapentin, which um and it is not something that you can just cold turkey. Uh it is it's great for people who have nerve damage because it helps with the pain considerably. And boy, am I realizing just how much. Um, I've been on it for at least a year now after the surgery. Um, and I thought, it's not really doing anything. So, it'd be okay to not be on it. Oh, holy shit. I only thought I knew where the bar was for what my pain level is. I had no I didn't even have I didn't even know what the bar looked like. That's how much shit I am dealing with right now, and I've got to get off it because it is making me gain weight considerably. Like I should not be. I weighed in the other day at 370 pounds. That is not me. Anybody who knows me, I have been 250 pounds since fourth grade. And a lot of times look damn good doing it. This 120 pounds, that is a person. I'm carrying a person with me. I carried a 120-pound ruck on my back for 4.5 years traveling around the world. And, you don't know. But it's I have I have got to so I've got to get this weight off. Um and it's I got that jab, that good old Ozempic, and they keep upping my dose, and they're like, why are you gaining why are you you're the only person on the planet gaining weight on Ozempic. Ah, because of the gabapentin. So for the last year that I should have been losing weight at a healthy level, I have been gaining weight because the gabapentin has been totally canceling out anything else I do. And so for the last week, when I finished, trying to shit myself to death, and oh dear God, listen, you think you've had a little Montezuma's revenge? You think maybe, you had just a little too much the old rotas on the Spanish rice, and you're having a bad day the next morning? You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Dear God. I can't even begin to explain. I didn't eat for like 3 days. I didn't eat, and it still kept coming out of me. Oh man, no, listen, it was ooh. I would have, this wasn't that. This is there's that, and whew, this was something else entirely, and it was horrific. But I got past it. Yeah, TMI. Yeah, I'm sorry, Leah. Yeah, TMI. I told you, listen, I told you misery loves company, and tonight is all about we're just gonna share in this misery together, because I did not want to come on tonight. I should not be on the air. I have no good things to talk about. No, no, no really cool things to talk about tonight. And you know, so uh, yeah. But I point taken, Leah. I will move on past um the revenge of Taco Bell's revenge. But anyway, point being is once I get through that, then I have to get completely off of the gabapentin. And let me tell you a little something about gabapentin. Gabapentin is wonderful for diabetics who have nerve damage, people like me who have had their head cut off and reattached, and face off people. Sure, John Travolta and Nick Cage will be on it for the rest of their lives. But it is also a antidepressant. Well, I don't need an antidepressant. I'm not a depressive person. I'm not. I don't get like that. Um, Pissed off about shit? Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me tell you what happens when you start coming off any kind of medication like that. You turn into a friggin' psychopath. I mean, uncontrolled. You'll be happy. You'll be like, oh, yeah, I mean, just, and then on the drop of a dime, someone just squeaks wrong, and you're like, you know, I have had my share of experimentation in my youth. But I can tell you right now, I have never experienced anything like what coming off of this gabapentin crap. Uh, and the glory of it is once I get off it, I get to start taking something else. And I realize that that's me. That's what I've got, in order to function, to be, not spend the last 2 weeks on a couch or on a chair. That's just the way it is. You know, you got to live with shit. But I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Did you give it? I was not capable of any kind of communication whatsoever. I would make a trip and I would come back out and be like, okay, it's past. And then immediately hope that I made it back in time. There was this thing we used to do. I ran a cigar shop for a little bit. And one of the initiation rituals that we used to screw with people was what you called the green monster. And little bottle. You can get it at Walmart right now. If try it, impress your friends. And it's a magnesium sulfate liquid form. They give it to it's a pre-surgery thing for cleansing the bowels. And I thought, okay, you know what? I'm one of the guys. I can do this. Took a bottle of it, and I'm here to tell you, that if you've ever had to deal with that, don't do it. I hope none of you get this, because I'm here to tell you that the minute you think it's over, it comes back for one final little fuck you. And yeah, that not even close to the beginning of the words. God, I love me some Taco Tico. I seen a sign. I had go out to. I think I told everybody last week. I was out in the panhandle of Oklahoma, a little town called Hooker, Oklahoma, home of the Hooker Horny Toads. And where I grew up out there, we used to, instead of Taco Bell, you had Taco Tico, and Taco Tico was c'est magnifique. And you could still get, I think some places still sell like, you can buy a pound of Taco Tico meat. So good. You don't know. Haystack knows. None of the rest of you know. But if you're ever traveling up Highway 54 in the panhandle of Oklahoma, hunt for it. Get you some Taco Tico. And no other Taco Bell will Taco Hell. It howdy, Rowdy. Yeah, well, good. That means I'm not the only person who's pissed off and miserable. So come on in, join the party. And I don't know what to tell you about, dude. I'm way out in the woods. I got a bunch of cats, but I've never. There's a bunch of wild cats around the neighborhood, which is great because I don't get a lot of wild mice eating up my shit. But there's a bunch of wild cats around there. But I have never seen a wild cat. So, yeah. It's called Insert Name Here with Maximilian Tucker every Thursday at 6. I do have a little bit of good news before I get too far into the miserable shit that is Max. Next week's episode will be pre-recorded, and we have an exclusive interview with, see if I can remember his name. There's a guy down in Australia, hangs out with Sharky. You probably don't know him. It's Ronnie Trickshot. So we're gonna find out who the hell Ronnie Trickshot is, and so that's next week. We are doing a giveaway next week. Maybe we're doing a giveaway. You'll have to tune in to find out, because Hasbro are some miserable twats, and instead of fixing my busted chameleon, they send me this thing, which I don't need, and I hate this Sarge figure. So Ronnie is going to decide what he wants to do with his toy. So he's either going to give this away to some lucky viewer next week, live in chat, not live on the air. You will have to be in chat. You will have to be subbed. And, or he may just keep it. You'll have to tune in to find out. We'll know. We'll announce, and we'll talk about it on the pre-record. But he and I will both be live in the chat, talking about your mama and what she did. Tisk, tisk, tisk. So yeah. So some lucky viewer is going to get that, because, boxing it and the chameleon back up and sending it back to Hasbro and waiting, 90 days for them to send me a check. So I can then take that check, cash it, and rebuy the toy that was busted and is still in stock. So, yeah. So how's everybody else's last couple weeks? Anybody else been shitting themselves to death? Oh, no. Shauna can't be 50. That woman is 32 forever. Just, yeah. You and me, we're fucked though, bye. At 50 club, man, I'm about to be 50. I'm about to be 52. What all you youngins keep hanging out here for? What do you, it's got some. Oh, I just, yeah. Yeah. Sean is 32 forever. That woman stopped aging at 32. She's just stuck there. Stopping the clock here at 35. I'm pretty sure the only way that I'm going to get a clock stopped is by finding out what a Glock tastes like. So, which is not going to happen. So, yeah. I did get here's my other bad news. So, this is a Millennium Falcon. Look, boys and girls, a Millennium Falcon. Brand new in the box. It's even got the packing material. By the way, I want to thank Lester Patrick, who packed this box in 1982. And February of 1982. Yeah, an aluminum Falcon, a millennial Falcon. That's what this is. Um, it's absolutely fantastic. I had to do an inventory today. It is missing a few things, but one thing it is not missing is that stupid little Jedi training ball and peg, which I believe sells for like $150 all by itself. So, um, but it is for sale. So if you're looking for a uh, new in box, um, hit me up, slide into my DMs, and I'll let you know. It's fantastic. It's got beautiful cardboard on the inside, but it's missing the radiator dish. I'm a mess. I shouldn't be on the friggin' air tonight. I don't know what anybody's expecting here. If you just want to see a complete catastrophe, stay tuned. So it's missing the instruction sheet. It's missing the one of the struts for the door. It's missing the uh, radar dish and the guns and the little piece that goes in the middle, which is probably about $60 to, it's not missing anything of consequence. All the really hard shit to find is all there. So if you're looking for a piece that has a fantastic box, is in great shape, and isn't missing anything that can't easily be replaced, I was just on Dallas Vintage Toys checking their inventory, and yeah, like $60, and you can have a complete Millennium Falcon from February of 1982, packaged by Lester Patrick. That's really cool that they would stamp it so you know exactly who packed the box. It's never been stickered either. That's the great thing about it. Because when I was a kid, I sort of stole the stickers out of this box. So it's never been stickered. And I mean, that plastic is just fantastic. So somebody who is looking for someone, I'm sure if Dan was here, he'd be drooling right about now. But I'll be posting up some pictures later. I've still got it and the Rebel Transport that hopefully I can get them both sold together. It's for my mother. I don't see a dime. All money goes to taking care of dear old mum. So that there's that. So what's happening out in everybody other than Rowdy, stepping in dog shit all day, becoming a vampire. The hell is an aluminum Falcon? A millennial Falcon. That's the. Pretty sure I can't. I'm glad my mom doesn't watch because I'm going to tell you, she just won't even try to pronounce it. She cannot say millennium. Just ask her. Just, it's in the box. Millennium. Just blah, 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 blah. That's all, folks. Yeah. So, um, oh, Gundam cards. I just build a Gundam. What do you want the cards for? Everybody in their cards. That of course I am super proud of my daughter getting a mint what is it? The if I could see it from here, one of the Pokemon boxes that's going for like $350, and she was just like pulled out a knife and was like, "Fuck the scalpers," and sliced that thing open and opened every pack. Guy, and she said she'd do it again too. Oh, that was fun, but it is. Hmm. So who's got something? Who else is? What other misery can we share? I missed SDCC. I have no idea what happened. I was really looking forward to being on Joe A. Raw 42's show Sunday. I was like, I'm not going to watch anybody's friggin' videos. I don't want to hear about what's dropping, who's doing what, how many Mad Hatter reviews you can pack into 5 minutes, and you know how many how fast can Rowdy Riles produce a new video? I know the answer to that. It is 25 minutes. And didn't watch any of that shit, and barely conscious, by the way. Missed it all. Nothing. They have no idea what is going on with any of it. Barely got my pre-orders in for Hasbro for my Crimson snake armor, and the I'm pretty sure I'm just waiting for my cancellation notice from Walmart for my psych out. So I was so looking forward to bitching about shit on Joey Raw's channel. I really just seriously, man, I couldn't do it. I was so miserable Sunday. I just could not. Just oh dude, they're bummed. I don't know why. What are they bummed about? I need information. I need to know that others share my misery. I tell you one thing I am excited about. I saw a lot of the movie releases and stuff that's coming, and oh man, fall the later this year in 2027 is going to be such a sweet year for some movies. What? I can't tell you a single one of them that I'm thinking about. Oh wait, I got a message. Hey, it's Carrie from Now Health Insurance Options. These assholes will not stop. I am should never talk about a lady's age. That's just no, not in 25 minutes, every 25 minutes. Oh my god, I am excited for the movies. I seen just some of the stuff that was hinted at, some of the movie reviews. I am really looking forward to what Danny McBride's going to do with this G.I. Joe movie. We're getting, a 4K restoration on the Transformers movie, so it looks like can't wait to get a Blu-ray of that thing. And hell yes, some Coyote versus Acme. Cannot just I was so pissed. All they did was talk about that, and I like Looney Tunes. I know it got a little carried away because everybody just. I've never was what's the basketball Looney Tunes, whatever that movie is. I can't even remember the name of it. That's how much um it meant to me. And Space Jam, yeah, um, that whatever. Um, but Coyote versus Acme looks really good. I would, I'm excited to see that. Um, Danny McBride will be Duke, but he's old and moves to Mexico as fast as coming back. You know what? Hey, I, that I wouldn't mind. I'd watch that. Watch that. Yeah, you know, you got some old retired, like just some 1980s. You had what was really interesting how Larry Hama wrote the GI Joe comics and how Hasbro released the figures, because you had the early 83 figures, which were definitely a plain green shirt, no frills, all of it kind of touching base with some of the old 12-inch figures from back in the day. And they did that in the comics too. You had the early figures. And then you started transitioning into, the new line with Zartan and Destro and not heavy metal. Yeah, again, if I fade out a little bit, it's yeah, medication withdrawals. Can't you just withdraw from drugs like normal, like heroin or something? Just get a bucket and a cold rag and fuck that guy and everything. I am just so sick of hearing. But that's okay, because luckily I do have something to say about that, because luckily we've got somebody who has done more to fight against him than anybody else. Thank God that we've got him on our side, being the one and only voice who has called out these assholes from the get-go. That make sure I'm not even sorry. If you don't know what I'm talking about, stay that way. It's not even worth it. None of them. I'm so tired of that asshole, period. All of them idiots. Just, I kind of feel like it doesn't matter. There's a thing in psychology where you have children who the only attention they're so neglected, the only attention they can get is negative attention. But it's still attention for them. So it works. And for them, that is what they need to fill that. And that's really what I feel every time I see. Yeah, I did too. And you know what? Swampy makes it's good on him. I'm too mad. I'm too mad about that shit. I'm the things he did to me and mine. It's I just he'll get his. It's he's gonna, that that path only leads down one way, and God, I hope he starts jogging it. Honestly, so yeah, I don't need to talk about him or anything about him, or the likes of any of them. Fuck them. Fuck them all in the neck with a pitchfork. So you got a new Transformers. Oh, I am super jelly on that. I'm gonna be looking. I've got um I do have a little bit of good news. My wife today got the job that she has been after uh for so long, worked her ass off to get, and today she signed a paper. So she is um that wonderful. That um I am that is one thing that we have desperately needed, and it's especially with me being just a fucking lump in a chair 99% of the time. So it that is out of all the misery that we have today, and yeah, it it's yes, congrats, Mrs. Max. No. I'm Mr. Shannon. That's what I am. I'm somebody's bitch. Oh shit. I gotta really quit trying to raise that arm. Um oh man. So get that on Amazon? I'm gonna have to take a look at that. So what? I'm somebody's bitch. Yeah, I'm your bitch. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I thought you'd appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. All hail the matriarchy. We're past that. We're talking about okay, she's already gone. Yeah. Anyway, congrats to her. Yeah. Um if you can't raise that arm, how can you raise the balls up? It woo woo. Um I can do it. It's part of what I've got, and they're gonna have to start testing for it here. I don't know what that's gonna entail. Is something called C5 palsy, the C5 vertebrae, and it's pretty common for the soul. The surgery that I had, and it just basically it's the nerve that runs from your C5 vertebrae all the way across your shoulders, all the way down to the tips of your fingers, which I can't feel anymore. Now, getting this weight off is probably going to help considerably with that. So that is a number one priority right now. I don't give a shit. I can't starve myself because if I that it's a catch 22 on everything. You know it. If uh, I had I was vegetarian for over 5 years. Pastafarian, piscuits. I don't know what they call it. Anyway, I ate like some fish and eggs, but I I don't eat unhealthy now. I don't eat out. I don't drink soda pops. You know, I don't do any drugs that aren't prescribed to me. I'm this close to if I didn't intake with nicotine, I'd think I'd probably be kind of straight edge. That and Tylenol. I love me some Tylenol. Um, but it's all my drinks are flavored but sugar free. So I don't know what else I can do. Uh, but we'll see what happens. It's I got a lot of people looking out for me and looking out for my health, so we're gonna keep going with that. But anyway, kaiju. I am going to definitely look because I'm here to tell you on that dual 1225 turntable of mine. That Cold Slither album sounds amazing. Oh man, listen, I drink so much fucking water. I go through at least two of these a day. It's 64 ounce. So I probably overwater it. Um, it, I just, I don't know. It's some of it's a lot of it right now. I know I would be losing weight that can, if I do 1 or 2 pounds a week, I'm happy because that's healthy weight loss. That's where you need to be. People who are losing, like, I got a friend of mine, she lost like 15 pounds in a week. Girl, something wrong. That's not and also putting on 20 pounds in a week. Um, yeah, I know. That's why you got me excited. I'm 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 starting to make a list. I really it's gonna be a little bit before I can get um I got a nice little vinyl collection. I found a great um see, we're talking about one thing. You always get me you nobody derails a conversation like Kaiju Kitty. Um and you keep doing that, bud. Um I'm tired of talking about weight shit anyway. But I've got me some good vinyl. I found a great set of um, Cowboy Bebop, the whole soundtrack, 2 albums in one. Great pressing, colored album, and $12. Now, it came from Walmart, but even Walmart's getting these albums from pressing companies, and there's only a certain amount of pressing companies out there. So there's a lot of debate like, oh, Walmart albums sound like shit. I ain't hearing it. I got a $2,500 amp and a $300 turntable and two really nice Pioneer speakers. And I'm going to tell you that Walmart album plays just as good as those German albums I've got. So I'm not going to there's some albums that I really want, and I'm going to start making a list. Um, I will add it to. Oh, hold on. Buy Ghoul. Ghoul is the best friggin' metal out band ever. Their vinyl is easy to get to. Also, Real Gone Music should have another good pressing of the Return of the Living Dead soundtrack. Ooh, now that's tempting. I usually try to get. There is a company, Piranha Press, out of East Texas, and that's usually who I go through for a lot of albums. But we got a shop in Shreveport, um, and they've got a massive collection. I mean, it's probably 2,500 square feet. I can't hardly get my fat ass down the aisle. That's how many records are in this place. And then I go in there the other day and he's got this album with some mold on it. And he's just like spitting on it to clean it. And I'm like, they make record cleaners. They're not that, you know, just, it's not that big a deal. He's like, why pay for something that I can do myself? I'm like, I do not need to buy any albums from here. Mm-mm. I don't care. I've bought some in the past and I'm from them and I can't do it anymore. And then I can't go to the one here in my local. I've got one here in town, but every time I go in there, it's full of people talking about a bunch of fucking Nazi shit. Literally talking about the last time I walked in there, they were talking about Nazis. And and then I loan them some shit, and it gets lost, and it's all, it's when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. So I'm gonna have to need to find another record store. If you ever find your way to Omaha, Nebraska, we've got lots of vintage album places. I'm glad to see that they're making a comeback. And the new pressings are good if you've got a good turntable. If you don't have a good turntable, these new pressings don't play well. Like I got out in my shipping container right now, I got a brand new 1957 Zenith, and that turntable is crap, and it will not play a new I'm pretty sure that they I might have I don't know, I was on a lot of shit back then. They might have consulted me for that movie. I used to have a big ocean blue mohawk. Hung out with the likes of Eric the Lizard Man and Jim Rose. God, I miss Jim Rose. I think he's in Paris now. Nobody know. Y'all don't know Jim Rose. You don't know about Jim Rose Circus. You don't know about Fakir Musafar. Oh, the good days, the good old days. I went to Amoeba Records last week and got some Girl School and Kim Wilde because I fucking love 80s music. Hey, that's great. Okay, what is this? Breaking news. CEO of Sex got married. Sex 2 delayed as a result. I don't know what that means. Am I officially too old for this for this chat? I might be too old for this chat. That's okay. Oh, CEO of Sex is Ned from Spider-Man. Who'd he get married to? Wait, did he get married to Zendaya and they've got a little thruple? That right there, now that's breaking news. Yeah, I know who you're talking about now. Thank you. I wonder if somebody doesn't give him a Lego Star Destroyer or a Death Star as a present, then that marriage won't last a month. This coming week's got to be better. Today started out. I also, it's we don't apologize on this show. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You're fine. You had a rough weekend. All those SDCC videos that you yeah, that's rough. I know there's at least 3 hours of them in the I've been and listen, I haven't got to watch any of them. I ain't got my rowdy fix. I got on last night for like 5 minutes, and the minute I get on, I'm like, okay, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna get in chat. I'm gonna say something. I don't feel good, but I wanna tell everybody I miss them and hi and all this. And I'm like, Hey everybody, Zombie Max here. And Rowdy's like, all right, well, it's time to go. Good night, everybody. Fuck you. End credits. I was like, you mother. I can't keep up. There's no keeping up. I can't. I can't keep up with my own content, especially right now. This is my part time, my lower than. Listen, this is my part time, lower than minimum wage job. Can we all just take a moment and speculate if all the big bad workshop stuff we saw takes us through the year 2032? Shit. If I saw just a glimpse with on Rowdy show, just going through the big bad toy store, and 2032 will be generous. Doesn't that stuff take like 3 to 4 years to come out? But you know what? Listen, I that's the humor thing about talking about big bad toy store, big bad workshop. But I think it's going to start improving. I think they've really got a lot of people's attention. Now, their stuff really isn't for me. It just I don't care for it. No, let me rephrase that. It's not that I don't care for it. I like it. I like it a lot. I think they're creative. I think they're doing some really cool stuff, and I think they're trying to fill every little void that is making, that every other toy company is not fulfilling. And by doing that, they're pissing off enough people that well, maybe not pissing them off, but pushing, maybe that's not the right word. They're they came out with that figure, the Dr. Rand, or whatever they're calling them, so they don't have to say, Johnny Quest, that had the Dr. Venom head. And next thing you know, Hasbro name drops Dr. Venom and his brainwave scanner. I have been, since they started doing classified, I have been wanting a Dr. Venom and a brainwave scanner, which means, if they're doing that, that means we're getting Quinn. They're going to start in, and I've said from the get go that they have not, from the early days of G.I. Joe Classified, they were kind of sticking more towards the deep cartoons and some of the animated stuff, and Larry Hama really wasn't getting the respect he deserved. That is most definitely changing. We are really starting to get some Larry Hama stuff. Stay at home mom will be figure of the year. Did I miss something with that? That's I got like a 25 sub jump. You just got to make some AI slop video. No. You tell them, Leah. Why keep the box? Do you want to know why? Because in 40 years, that box will be worth $200. I finally have an answer for you. I would love to see some Command and Conquer figures. I am really kind of amazed that we haven't gotten some Command and Conquer. To get a Tim Curry figure with I'm going to space. Yeah, yeah, I would totally be down for some Command and Conquer figures. You know, that I you know, I don't care for any of the Rocketeer stuff that I've seen. I didn't care. I don't really the stuff Bobby's doing, it doesn't interest me. The stuff that Big Bad's doing with theirs doubly doesn't interest me. I'm just I think right now is a good time for action figure collectors because everybody is making everything. If you ever thought about it being a fucking action figure, somebody is trying to make it right now. And you know what? Not everything needs, not, geez Louise, man. They're going to push it. This is, the bottom is going to drop out on this shit. And then nobody's getting action figures. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, right. Everybody needs a Tim Curry figure. I'm glad. I'm glad. Hey, listen, I'm happy you like it. It's I'm. There's a lot of people who have wanted Rocketeer stuff for a long time. I think I've got. I don't think it was Toy Biz. I've got a really good Rocketeer figure, and I don't know. It's not. I say it's good. It's adequate. Um, the I don't remember if it was Toy Biz. I don't think it was McFarlane. Hold on one second. Little assistance bringing me. I'll show you the Rocketeer figure I got. It yeah, I think it was Toy Biz. I can't remember. And you know, seriously, Fraggle Rock, who the fuck is asking for Fraggle Rock figures? Now those DuckTales, man, I'm getting that Scrooge McDuck. You need to know right now. That is, yeah, yeah, he does. Um, it's a great figure. I think I've got the extra head, so you can pull that off. It's got it's the movie, so but it's got some good articulation. No pins. Oh no, I take that back. Pins. You've got. I think it even has. You can pull this off, and it's got the other chest piece that goes on it. It's a good figure. It's for what it is. It says Disney. I'm trying to see if it says Toy Biz on it somewhere. It has no other stamping other than Disney. I don't even remember where I got it. It sure looks like a Toy Biz figure. Um, who's asking for that? Not every. I realize that the 80 kids are coming into their, you know, coming into their prime, but is it? I can get it if somebody's out there trying and they're like, they've got a consultant and they're like, listen, the only way you're going to hold on to the copyright on this is if you produce something. So if you're going to keep this option, you've got to either produce a toy or you've got to put this series back on the air. And they're like, I want to do a whole series. That's ridiculous. Just make an action figure. And that's how there's something more to it. There's something more to it than just we need to take every license that we can get and make a figure for it. It's and they're not even improving it. Like that shit that I have been a loyal Subjects fan for a long time. I've liked a lot of stuff that they've done. That mask stuff that they're doing is absolute crap. It is the most zero effort, low T bullshit that I have ever seen. Yeah. Now, see, something like that I can get. If they're looking at a secondary market and they're going, okay, you know what? If something like a Diamond Selects Muppet is selling for this, then we need to bring it back. Mask ain't doing that. I just I maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe I don't understand the market. Um I don't know if too many people, Rocketeer hasn't had something that um I haven't seen anything comic book wise Rocketeer in in a long time. I haven't seen any new media. And honestly, I mean, that's just my opinion. And I'm happy for anybody if they're making that option, if you're getting that toy that you always wanted, um it oh dear God, no. Like Cops. I like Cops. That was the shittiest fucking ever. You know what? I'm gonna get slammed for this. Here's a hot take. I never thought that cartoon was worth a shit. I thought it was an interesting story, just never cared. Rocketeer was a great story, and I'm not just talking about the Disney movie. Um, that was a, but even that was a fun movie. But if you went to the comic book and stuff like that, there's no Rocketeer media out there right now. Yet Valaverse and Big Bad Workshop have both decided that we need to flood the market with Rocketeer stuff. Do they know something that we don't know? Are we getting a new Rocketeer media? The guy who wrote it and drew it is dead, so it's his estate. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. It was yeah, see, I didn't think I was the only one. Somebody likes it. I mean, it's I believe Bobby Vala owns the property rights to it, and Big Bad Workshop is producing figures that they're not bad. They just look like fucking somebody took and redesigned a Power of the Force figure and put a badge on it. That's what all those Cops figures always look like. I always thought they looked like shit. Power of the Force with the big, you know, huge torso Star Wars figures that absolutely nobody liked. I just I don't I want to be fair. The figures, I kind of get why Valaverse is doing that because um he's coming out with a line of World War II figures. So the Rocketeer kind of fits in with that. Um and I think he's doing more of the comic book version backpack, um, and a few of the other, like, a few changes to the helmet that are. I mean, his is approved at least by the estate, so he's got some licensing agreement with that figure, and it's going to fit in with his 1944 line. So I, that there's a lot of people who want those figures, want a lot of World War II stuff. Me, I'm just that's I don't really know where I've got something that would fit in with that. I'm not. I know if you go to DFW Action Figure Show and you go down into the basement to look at all the dioramas and shit, every bit of it is fucking, German Reich figures, 12-inch figures and all that. It's that's what all that is down there. So there's some people who like that, and if that's what you like World War II stuff, uh, rock on. Apparently, you're going to be getting um, more than your fair share of options when it comes to figures. I just it's not where my interests lie. Um, you I find it funny. Just a little observation with this. It's always World War II. You don't see anybody doing any MASH figures. Korean War era, or even Vietnam era with the, even, and that, now I will say that I am excited for the Fury Force that they're going to do with Larry Hama stuff, and I will probably pre-order those. I want that Larry Hama figure. I've never ordered from Big Bad Workshop. I've never seen anything they've done that made me want to. Um, Not that they didn't make good. And I don't want to say they're not making good stuff. Just nothing that said, "Hey, I have to have that." But that Larry Hama set is something that I am excited about. And for what I know, I don't believe anybody else has done anything. And yeah, there were, I do remember MASH figures. You could get the whole tent set up and all that. Um, my wife is a big MASH fan. I remember watching brand new episodes every week. Um, but yeah, MASH rules. We do have people trying to make Iraqi Afghanistan war criminal action figures. It um if they could just, if I don't, you know what, all that gets in shaky ground. Um who you want to call that, and that's one reason why you have so many problems with a lot of these. Every hero needs an enemy. And if you're doing something in context, I totally get it. But, it's like during World War II, it's one reason why you don't see a lot of those early Looney Tunes cartoons, because we were being taught to go out and kill some people from a nation. Japanese and Germans, it made fun of them with the stuff that just doesn't fly today, because those people aren't our enemies anymore. We don't want to cause them harm. So we're not going to make fun of them. Uh, we're not going to. Yeah, it's there. There's a lot to unpack with shit like that. But I've had some friends who were uh, Iraqi war, Gulf War, a lot of the Gulf wars, Afghanistan, and stuff like that. And I don't know too many of them. Haystack, you're out there, that aside from vehicles and memorabilia and stuff like that, too many of them, even the ones that do collect action figures, really want Iraqi action figures that sitting up on their shelf. Um, I don't think there's really any call for it, except for a few people, Uh, but I don't see where there's a lot of call for a lot of the action figures and different thing and toys that are being produced today. But people are still making them. I mean, look at RoboForce. RoboForce was a toy that I had when I was a kid, in the at the end of the 70s. Um the fact is, I believe Haystack was even at I had a birthday party at a McDonald's. You could still do that. I'd still want to do that. So, and I got a RoboForce. It had a big old tower, had Max Robo and all the other, the suction cup. And Nacelle is reproducing those toys now, and they're awful. I had a review on here back when I first started doing this, and it was basically just a pound and a half of solid plastic. Um, but anyway, the good guys in a bad, you always need an enemy. It's one reason why G.I. Joe has, Cobra is many faces under those masks. And they're just the bad guys. There's not anything. It's not when you start getting and saying, I need Iraqi bad villains and I need, Japanese villains and stuff like that. It's it can get a little problematic. And for some people, um, I don't know. It's how we all built our immune systems. Oh, and those ball pits. Uh, I watched a video on how they clean those ball pits, and I guarantee you, they didn't used to do that back when I was a kid. We were actually the good guys for most part during World War II, but it morphed into anti. Yeah, now there's a whole lot of there's a whole lot of things that. What a world! But I don't know. It's like, who's that one idiot? The Shittimus, whatever. Uh, he was coming out with these figures that now he's screaming that Bobby Vallis stole from him. But he had some Kickstarter for these street humans, and you had one white guy and then a bunch of nationalities, and all of them just looked like thugs. And I think Valaverse is doing his extras now, and it's honestly just why, if they're extras, then you should have a combination of things. They don't have to be necessarily extra bad guys. you want him to come with a bat, you want him to come with a crowbar, and you want him to come with an angry face or a masked face or something like that, that's fine. But where's the extras that are just extras? Just your normal face. You know, maybe just little Joe A-Rod trying to walk home from the bodega with a bag of groceries. You know, it's a neat concept having some background characters. That they've always got to be villains or, you know, or tracksuit mafias is, you know, they don't always have to be that. And I still think there's a place for them. But they're extras. But this is the same person who complained about Shardamus making his street people line. Hold on. Who am I the same person? No, I mean I didn't really if you're talking about me, Box, I don't remember. I didn't really have to I want to think carefully about what I said. I just didn't think it was well thought out. And honestly, and I just have zero yeah, there was a lot of stuff happening in the background on that I'm privy to that you know, I will say this, and I'm not coming to anybody's defense and I'm not trying to take anybody's side, but help was offered to Shardamus. And Shardamus shit on it. And help was genuinely offered to him. But honestly, piss on all those people. I don't give two shits about none of them. I had zero when Shardamus was doing his Kickstarter. I had zero confidence that he could produce what he was wanting to produce. I thought his figures looked like crap. I thought his little, you know, the spare little animal heads and shit like that. And I will say this for a lot of people with their complaints about Bobby, he genuinely offered to help. And it was, I don't know what it was, but all that situation was stupid. It, why every YouTuber seems to think that they just, you know what, I am never going to downgrade anybody for trying to do something. But trying to do something that you're absolutely not qualified to do, have zero experience in other than you just collect a bunch of toys. And when you have somebody who is experienced, genuinely try to reach out and say, hey, I would love to help you and offer you some genuine advice on what to do. And, you know, and and then you treat him like you don't need his help because you're, you know, too good for that. No, there was a lot of stupidity in that whole situation. And you know, I will say this, I have some general criticisms, as I'm sure anybody in the LGBTQ plus community would have against Bobby Vala right now, with some comments. Rowdy has addressed those. I don't need to bring them back up. But we do owe him one thing, and that is because of him. Because there is in the toy tuber community in the toy world and in production and collecting and everything, there is a before Bobby Valla and after Bobby Valla. He has opened up more of the toy producing world to a lot of us than we ever would have got access to because of NDAs, because of, you don't see Lenny right now out there talking about how he made this at Hasbro and critiquing, different things like that. You don't see a lot of Corey or any of the other former employees going on. And he absolutely still deserves criticism, and I am not going to fault anybody for that. There's some genuine um uh complaints, and those should be addressed. But I really think a lot of the explosion that is happening right now with action figures and a lot of these options and markets that we never saw before have a lot to do with Bobby Valla. Because he has opened up a lot of the insider stuff. Kind of like Wizard magazine used to open up a lot about the comic book world back in the day. A lot of insider secrets. There's a lot of companies right now that never produced action figures like that. Big Bad. I honestly believe that Big Bad is a direct retaliation to something to do with Bobby Valla. I don't know this to be true. I can't prove anything, but I just get a feeling somehow. Yeah, and there's more than a few who feel that way, and you and I have had this discussion before. That's there's some of that he has absolutely earned. Um, spend not a season with a fool, least you be counted amongst your friends. And some of the people that man considers friends makes me question him, and I do too. I have a lot of Valaverse product. Of course, I've got a personal thing right now. Again, uh, a deal when he was on an episode with Talker Art that I haven't bought another thing from him since that day. So hopefully one day that can be addressed and things can be stepped up and apologies made and move forward. But it's it's not like I'm running out of options. Um, there are almost too many damn options right now. And I'm starting to feel like back in the, Superman dies comic book era where you've got 30 different variant covers of the same issue and everything like that. And I'm starting to as do I. And there's a lot of company that I don't kick it with, but that's I don't know. Those things have a way of working themselves out, and I stand by the company I keep, and I'm pretty proud of my chat and the people who my people who tune in every week. I all have been welcoming and all are welcome. So, but there's a lot of options coming out right now. And again, like I said, it makes me feel a lot like back in the 90s with the comic books, that maybe we're about to reach a bubble and it's going to go from a little bit of everything. I don't know. And I hope that to a whole lot of nothing. And I hope that's not a little FOMO feeling. Um, that I'm going to miss out on some of this stuff and, or some of the things that I personally want made. It just, like I'm really like Dark Horse Direct and their, old Rankin and Bass Lord of the Rings figures. They're more statuettes. So than anything else, they're not really articulated, but, I really like those. And, but it's no articulation. You ain't getting my money. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, hey, hit that like button. And there ain't no please. I feel like shit. Y'all do something to cheer me up. Hit that like button, you lazy shits. You don't do nothing. Hit it. What else you got to do? Oh. Are you not entertained? Oh. I really gotta stop doing that. Oh. You know what? It's all. It ain't going down. You, I don't know. I'm willing to bet sometime. I don't think it's going to hit 30. I think it's going to be like 20, 29, 95 or, but, I would be, it's like I said the other day. It's, I would be okay paying more if they put more in the box. I get it. You got to make a price increase. That's fine. Put something else in the box. Let's see another accessory. Let's see another head, head sculpt or something like that. But given everything going on with Hasbro right now, the people, that I saw that digital render of the Thunder Machine and that crappy front end, and I'm just like, that shit is not going to fly. They're like, well, licensing, we can't put a Pontiac front end on that. So you could change it up enough to where it resembles, put a Datsun front end on it. There's some other front end that looks, it's. I don't understand what that's something that has got me about G.I. Joe Classified from minute one. With the gung ho figures, they couldn't get the Marine Corps logo on his chest, so they put some whatever bullshit it was. It was bad. He's a Marine. One of the best figures back from the old O-Ring line was Gung Ho in his Marine dress blues. A figure that I have been hoping for a classified version since the minute they stepped it up and started pulling their head out of the ass with the line. Everybody talks about how, you ain't ever getting a hooded Cobra Commander because of some dude who, yeah, yeah. The fucking idiot. You want to talk about figures you ain't ever going to get? You ain't ever getting a U.S. military Marine dress blues gung ho figure. That's a figure you ain't ever getting. Worried about a figure that they knew they were holding back because they were going to make you sweat. They're going to make you sweat. They're going to make you beg for it. Beg. I'm going to make all your little phony bullshit. Well, I heard it from a guy who heard it. He was in the room. Yeah, we didn't hear shit, you dumb twat. You just for men piece of shit. Never getting a hooded cover commander. Oh, well, what'd you get? What did you get? You ain't ever getting, you know, all the everybody that complains about the the armaments on a lot of these GI Joe figures because they can't make a call to Glock and say, "Hey, we want to make some little plastic Glocks. We're not putting your name on it. It's just going to look like that." Glock doesn't give a shit. Armorite doesn't give a shit. You making ARs? Nobody cares. I don't buy that licensing shit anymore. Now, when it comes to military stuff, like the dress blues of the Marine Corps, they damn sure ain't giving you permission to do that. What it was back in the day, the military actually had a fund where they would pay you to incorporate U.S. Army, Air Force, Marines. Hell, you want to, you need a flyby for your TV show. The Army's got you. You need some howitzers for a toy line, and you want to put USA on the side of it with some USA markings. What do you need? We'll pay you to do it. It was part of the machine. That's just the way things were. You wanted young people to be interested in a volunteer only military, so you make sure that military is out there as much as it possibly can be. Now, I don't know when that started, but I know it, in some ways it's still going, but it isn't like it was. Um, and I don't want to say something that I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm going to kind of dwindle it down there. But because it may still be happening, but it ain't like it was back in the heyday of Hasbro making a lot of these figures where you had actual military vehicles, that like some of the experimental stuff, but you still had, USA. A lot of the things like that, and a lot of the TV shows you don't see it anywhere like you did when I was a kid. Um, it I'm sure I know a lot of it still exists in some way or the other, but they ain't paying Hasbro to put Marine dress blues on a figure. That I'm gonna do some research on that. I know a couple people who might know on that figure specifically what the history was, but it would be some higher up corporate shit before it got down to the floor. And I don't know. I'm gonna look into that. That's something interesting. Somebody else can. I don't care who does it. Just share the information. So anyway, anybody got anything else to bitch about? All the military and cop companies own the license to their likeness. Yeah, it's just how willing they are, how positive a light are you going to put it out there, and how much you willing to let them own you. So it's too hot. Well, yeah, no shit. What was it, like 103? My boobs hurt a lot. Mine too. But actually, yeah. Hey, Stag, you know better than I feel you because I was out in a 40-foot shipping container today. So, yeah, you and I definitely both know it was way too hot today. Fuck that. It's gonna go sit underneath the hose. That's gonna be my tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know. All right. No, here. I guess I can show y'all this since my kid dug it out of the. So we ain't ever getting a hooded Cobra Commander. Would you all like to see the real face of Cobra Commander? Are you ready? Dun dun dun! Ah! It 12-inch Cobra Commander, ladies and gentlemen. Got a little suitcase and a pew pew and all that. For years, he was naked and had a television set on his head. So decided to put all his shit back on him and stick him on the shelf. Mostly, I think my kid was just cleaning her room and tired of too much 12-inch Cobra. That's all I heard. Can you put a hot tub? No hot tub. Just ice cubes. I'm just gonna go stick a bunch of ice cubes in the bathtub and just lay on them. It's too damn hot here. We're supposed to get some rain. No rain. Yeah, that's how. You know what? That's how miserable my show is tonight. We're talking about weather. We're talking about weather. We are reduced to talking about weather. That's how lame it's got. So that probably means it's time for a quote and go home. So, unless anybody has anything, I wish I had something to bitch about SDCC, because I missed it all. So I got nothing for y'all. Nothing tonight. If you don't watch any of my episodes, tonight is definitely the one you could have skipped. So now, what, Lucky? That's not bad news. That's good news. All right. Oh yeah, fuck Clear Channel Radio. There you go. Do right there. Edward Lear, 1812 to 1888. Far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea green boat. Those are real quotes, people. See, Yeah, that's what you get. Shit week, you get shit quotes. So, take that. Anyway, next week we've got Ronnie Trickshot pre-recorded interview, and we're going to be putting that out there while me and him are in the chat deciding who the lucky viewer is to win that deluxe dual pack. And or he might just keep it. He might just keep it. You never know. You'll have to turn and watch out. But at the end of the day, next Thursday, you will know who the hell is Ronnie Trickshot. So tune in for that. It's going to be a load of fun. Ronnie is lots of fun, even though he couldn't be bothered to show up here tonight. But, definitely got him next week. And if that doesn't work out, then, that's just been my fucking week. So, yeah. I don't know. I've seen an image of him. He looks kind of younger than all of us. He's just a baby. So, but anyway, we're gonna find out. We're gonna interview him next week. It's gonna be a good show, and yeah, I think that's it. Good night, everybody.